Imagine this. A small boy sits in a dark room. He cannot breathe. His chest feels tight. He gasps for air. Night after night, this happens. His family watches. They worry. They fear he may not survive childhood. But this boy has a secret. He has a fire inside him, a dream, a promise to himself. He will not give up. This is the true story of Theodore Roosevelt, a sickly child who became one of the strongest leaders America ever knew. A man who faced illness, loss, and failure, and still stood tall. As you listen, notice the new words. Let the story flow. This story will help you improve your listening skills. Just relax, breathe, and listen. Chapter 1. The Weak Boy with a Giant Heart. Picture this moment. New York City. The year is 1858. A baby is born in a big house on East 20th Street. His name is Theodore Roosevelt. His family calls him TD. TD is small. He is weak. He has a sickness called asthma. Asthma makes it hard to breathe. Some nights, TD sits up in bed. He cannot lie down. He cannot sleep. He just tries to breathe. His father, Theodore Sr., is a kind man. He sees his son struggle. One day, he takes TD aside. He says something simple, something powerful. "You have the mind," his father says, "but you do not have the body. You must make your body." Those words stay with TD forever. Think about this. What would you do if someone told you that? Would you believe them? Would you try? TD did. He started small. He lifted small weights. He did simple exercises. He walked. He ran. He boxed. It was hard. His body hurt. His lungs burned. But he did not stop. TD also loved books. He read everything. Stories about nature. Stories about brave men in the West. He collected animal skins. He kept a small museum in his room. He loved the outdoors. He loved learning. But school was not easy. TD could not see well. He was nearsighted. At the age of 13, he got glasses. Suddenly, the world became clear. He could see the birds. He could read the small words. Glasses changed his life. TD did not go to a regular school. He studied at home. His mother taught him. His aunt taught him. A French governess taught him. He traveled with his family. He saw Europe. He saw the Middle East. Each place taught him something new. As you listen, notice how TD rarely complained. He did not say, "It is too hard." He just kept going. This is a good word to remember. Perseverance. It means to keep trying, even when things are difficult. TD grew taller. His body grew stronger. But he was still different from other boys. He was quiet. He thought deeply. He cared about people who had less than him. His father saw this. His father was proud. But life would test TD. Life would break his heart. Are you ready for the next part of the story? Chapter 2. When the World Broke His Heart. Imagine this. TD is now a young man. He goes to Harvard University. It is a big school. Many smart students are there. TD works hard. He studies natural history. He studies animals. He studies the world. But Harvard is not easy for him. His clothes are too fancy. His sideburns are too long. His room is full of animal specimens. Some students laugh. Some teachers are confused by his many questions. But TD does not care. He is focused. He wants to learn. He wants to grow. At Harvard, something beautiful happens. He meets a young woman named Alice Hathaway Lee. She is kind. She is smart. She is different from anyone he has ever met. TD falls in love. But Alice says no at first. She thinks he's a little strange. TD does not give up. He keeps trying. He shows her his heart. Finally, Alice says yes. They marry on TD's 22nd birthday, October 27, 1880. TD is happy. He has love. He has hope. He has a future. But life has a hard lesson waiting. Think about this moment. TD is working in politics now. He's a young leader in New York. He wants to make things better. He wants to help people. He's busy. He's tired. But he's hopeful. Then, in 1884, tragedy strikes. Alice is pregnant. TD is excited. He waits for the baby. On February 12th, Alice gives birth to a baby girl. They name her Alice after her mother. TD is overjoyed. He has a daughter. He has a family. But 2 days later, everything changes. TD is at work. He gets a telegram. His wife Alice is very sick. He rushes home. When he arrives, he sees 2 beds. In one bed, his mother is dying. In the other bed, his wife Alice is dying. His mother has typhoid fever. Alice has kidney disease, Bright's disease. Both women are fighting for their lives. TD sits between them. He holds their hands. He prays. He hopes. But hope is not enough. In the middle of the night, his mother passes away. 12 hours later, his beloved Alice passes away too. On the same day, in the same house. TD is shattered. He writes in his diary, "The light has gone out of my life." Picture this moment. A young man, a new father, standing in a quiet house. 2 people he loved are gone. His heart is broken. His world is dark. What would you do? TD did something surprising. He did not quit. He did not give up. He finished his work in politics. Then he made a hard choice. He left his baby daughter with his sister. He packed a small bag. He traveled west to the Dakota Badlands. Why? Because he needed to heal. He needed to find himself again. As you listen, notice this word, grief. Grief is the deep sadness we feel when we lose someone we love. TD felt grief, but he did not let grief stop him. He let it change him. In the Badlands, TD lived a simple life. He rode horses. He herded cattle. He hunted. He slept under the stars. The wind was cold. The land was rough. But TD felt alive. He wrote in his journal. He wrote about nature. He wrote about the frontier. He wrote about hope. Slowly, his heart began to heal. He realized something important. Pain does not have to break you. Pain can make you stronger if you let it. TD stayed in the West for 2 years. Then, a harsh winter came. It killed most of his cattle. He lost money. He lost his ranch dream. But he did not lose himself. He returned to New York. He was ready to try again. Chapter 3. The Fire That Would Not Die. Imagine this. TD is back in New York. He's older now. He's wiser. He has been through pain. He has seen loss. But his fire is still burning. He runs for mayor of New York City. He knows he might lose, but he runs anyway. Because he believes in service. He believes in making things better. He loses the election, but he does not feel defeated. He says, "I have returned to the thick of the battle. I'm recognized everywhere. I have won, even though I've lost." Think about that. Winning, even when you lose. What does that mean? It means you keep your values. You keep your courage. You keep moving forward. Soon after, TD meets someone from his past, Edith Kermit Caro. She was his childhood friend. They begin to talk. They begin to care for each other. TD proposes. Edith says yes. They marry in England in 1886. They return to New York. They build a home called Sagamore Hill. It becomes their sanctuary, their place of peace. TD and Edith have 5 children together: Theodore Joyar, Kermit, Ethel, Archibald, and Quentin. TD also raises his first daughter, Alice. He is a father. He is a husband. He is a man with a family. But his work is not done. TD writes books. He writes about history. He writes about nature. He writes about the West, His words are powerful. People read them. People listen. Then, politics calls again. President Benjamin Harrison asks TD to serve on the Civil Service Commission. This job is about fairness. It is about giving government jobs to qualified people, not to friends of politicians. TD works hard. He fights for what is right. He makes enemies. But he does not stop. Next, he becomes police commissioner of New York City. He cleans up corruption. He demands honesty. He walks the streets at night. He checks on officers. He shows that leadership means action. People notice. People respect him. In 1897, President William McKinley asks TD to be Assistant Secretary of the Navy. TD accepts. He knows the Navy is important. He knows America needs strength. He works to build better ships. He trains sailors. He prepares for what might come. And what comes is war. In 1898, the Spanish-American War begins. TD does not stay behind a desk. He does not send others to fight. He volunteers. He forms a group of brave men, cowboys, hunters, police officers, and college athletes. They call themselves the Rough Riders. TD leads them to Cuba. He rides into battle. He charges up a hill called San Juan Hill. Bullets fly. Men fall, but TD keeps going. He shows courage. He shows leadership. The Rough Riders become heroes. TD becomes a hero. When he returns home, crowds cheer. Newspapers praise him. People see a leader, a man of action, a man who does not fear. New York asks him to be governor. He agrees. He serves with honesty. He fights for reform. He helps workers. He protects the people. But some powerful politicians do not like him. They think he is too bold, too independent, and too honest. They want to move him somewhere safe, somewhere quiet. So they offer him a job, Vice President of the United States. TD does not want this job. He knows it has little power, but he accepts. He thinks, maybe this will lead to bigger things in the future. He campaigns hard. He travels thousands of miles. He speaks to millions. People love his energy. They love his passion. The Republican ticket wins. William McKinley is president. TD is vice president. Life is moving fast. But fate has one more surprise. In September 1901, President McKinley is shot by an assassin. He dies from his wounds. Suddenly, TD is president. At age 42, he is the youngest person ever to hold this office. Think about this. A man who was once a sickly child. A man who lost his mother and wife on the same day. A man who rode into battle. Now, he leads a nation. The world is watching. What will he do? Chapter 4. The leader who changed a nation. Imagine this. The White House. September 1901. TD, now President Theodore Roosevelt, takes the oath of office. He promises to continue the work of President McKinley. But everyone knows, this man has his own ideas, his own fire, his own vision. President Roosevelt does not wait. He acts. First, he looks at big business. Big companies are growing very powerful. They control prices. They hurt small businesses. They hurt workers. Roosevelt says, enough. He uses the law to break up unfair monopolies. He sues big companies that cheat. He becomes known as the trust buster. But he does not want to destroy business. He wants fairness. He wants a square deal for everyone. Think about this phrase, square deal. It means fair treatment, honest rules, equal chance for all. Next, Roosevelt looks at workers. In 1902, coal miners go on strike. They want better pay. They want safer conditions. The mine owners refuse to talk. Winter is coming. People need coal to stay warm. Roosevelt steps in. He calls both sides to the White House. He says, talk. find a solution. When the owners refuse, Roosevelt makes a bold move. He threatens to use the army to run the mines. The owners agree to talk. A deal is made. Workers get a raise. People get coal. Roosevelt shows that government can help, that leaders can protect the people. But Roosevelt's biggest passion is the land. He loves nature. He loves forests. He loves wild places. As president, he protects more land than any leader before him. He creates 150 national forests. He establishes 51 bird reserves. He sets aside land for national parks. He signs laws to protect water, soil, and wildlife. He says, "The forest and water problems are perhaps the most vital internal problems of the United States." He knows, if we do not protect nature now, we will lose it forever. As you listen, notice this word, conservation. It means caring for the earth, using resources wisely, protecting beauty for future generations. Roosevelt taught America this lesson. Roosevelt also looks beyond America's borders. He believes America should be strong, but strong in a wise way. He says, "Speak softly and carry a big stick." This means, be peaceful, but be ready to act if needed. He helps build the Panama Canal. This canal connects the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. It makes travel faster. It helps trade. It shows American strength and vision. He wins the Nobel Peace Prize in 1906. Why? Because he helped end a war between Russia and Japan. He brought two enemies to the table. He helped them find peace. He is the first American president to win this honor. Roosevelt also sends the Great White Fleet around the world. 16 white warships. They sail to many countries. They show American power, but they also show friendship. They carry a message. America is strong. America is peaceful. America is here to help. At home, Roosevelt fights for clean food and safe medicine. After reading a book called The Jungle, he orders an investigation of meat-packing factories. What he finds shocks him: dirty conditions, unsafe practices. He pushes Congress to act. In 1906, they passed the Pure Food and Drug Act. This law protects consumers. It makes sure food and medicine are safe. Think about this. One man, one president, so many changes. How did he do it? He worked hard. He spoke clearly. He cared deeply. He never gave up. Roosevelt serves 2 terms as president. In 1904, he wins election in his own right. He receives one of the largest popular vote victories of his time. But in 1908, he keeps a promise. He said he would not run again. So he supports his friend, William Howard Taft, to be the next president. Roosevelt leaves office. He thinks his work is done. But life has more chapters. Chapter 5. The legacy that lives forever. Imagine this. The year is 1909. Theodore Roosevelt is no longer president. He is free. He returns to his first love, nature. He and his son, Kermit, sail to Africa. They go on a scientific safari. They collect animal specimens for museums. They study wildlife. They write about their adventures. Roosevelt is happy. He is learning. He is exploring. But America is changing, and so is politics. President Taft, the man Roosevelt supported, makes decisions Roosevelt does not like. Taft is more conservative. He does not push for reform as strongly. Roosevelt feels a duty. He speaks out. He tries to heal the Republican Party. But the party is split. Some support Roosevelt, some support Taft. In 1912, Roosevelt runs for president again, but not as a Republican. He forms a new party, the Progressive Party. People call it the Bull Moose Party. He campaigns with passion. He talks about a new nationalism. He wants fairness. He wants protection for workers. He wants conservation. He wants hope. During the campaign, something terrifying happens. On October 14, 1912, a man shoots Roosevelt before a speech in Milwaukee. The bullet hits Roosevelt's chest, but Roosevelt has his glasses case and a folded speech in his pocket. They slow the bullet. He is hurt, but he is alive. What does he do? He goes on stage. He gives his speech, with the bullet still in his chest. He speaks for 90 minutes. Then he goes to the hospital. This is courage. This is strength. This is Theodore Roosevelt. He does not win the election. Woodrow Wilson becomes president. But Roosevelt's ideas live on. His passion inspires others. His vision shapes the future. After the election, Roosevelt seeks one more adventure. In 1914, he and his son Kermit travel to Brazil. They explore a river no one has mapped. They face jungle fever. They face danger. Roosevelt gets sick. He loses weight. He returns home weak. But his spirit is not weak. World War I begins in Europe. Roosevelt believes America should prepare. He wants to help. He offers to lead troops. But President Wilson says no. Roosevelt's 4 sons serve in the war. 3 are wounded. 1, his youngest son Quentin, is killed in battle. Quentin was a pilot. He died in an air fight over France. Roosevelt is heartbroken. He never fully recovers from this loss. His health declines. He has surgery. He loses hearing in one ear. He has been blind in one eye since 1905. But he keeps writing. He keeps speaking. He keeps hoping. On January 6, 1919, Theodore Roosevelt dies in his sleep. He's 60 years old. He asked for no big funeral. No long speeches. Just a quiet burial at Sagamore Hill. His body rests, but his legacy lives. Think about this. What did Theodore Roosevelt teach us? He taught us that weakness is not permanent. A sickly child can become a strong leader if he chooses to fight. He taught us that pain does not have to break us. Loss can make us deeper. Grief can make us kinder if we let it shape us, not stop us. He taught us that courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is acting even when you are afraid. Charging up the hill, giving the speech with a bullet in your chest, standing up for what is right. He taught us that leadership is service. It is not about power. It is about people. A square deal for all, protection for the weak, conservation for the future. He taught us to love the earth, to protect wild places, to leave beauty for those who come after us. He taught us to speak softly, but carry a big stick, to be peaceful, but be ready, to hope, but work hard. As you listen, notice these words: courage, perseverance, conservation, square deal. They are not just words. They are lessons from a life well lived. Now, think about your own life. What is your weakness? What can you make your body against? What dream is inside you, waiting to grow? What pain have you faced? How can it make you stronger, not bitter? What courage do you need today? What small step can you take? Theodore Roosevelt's story is not just history. It is a mirror. It shows us what is possible. You have a fire inside, you too. Do not let it go out. So here is the final lesson from Theodore Roosevelt. Life will test you. You will face sickness. You will face loss. You will face failure. But you also have a choice. You can give up, or you can get up. You can let pain define you, or you can let it refine you. You can wait for perfect conditions, or you can start with what you have. Theodore Roosevelt did not have a perfect start. He had asthma. He had tragedy. He had setbacks. But he had something more important. He had heart. He had hope. He had the courage to try again. And that made all the difference. So today, whatever you face, remember TD in that dark room. Remember the young man who traveled west to heal. Remember the presidents who charged up the hill. You are stronger than you think. Your story is not over. Keep going. If you enjoyed this story, if it touched your heart, please like this video, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe for more true stories that help you learn English and grow your spirit. Now I want to ask you something. Think about this question. What is one struggle in your life right now that you will not give up on? Write your answer in the comments below. I read every one. Your story matters. Your courage matters. Many people will watch this video, but only a few will comment. Be one of them. Thank you for listening. Thank you for growing. Thank you for being here. Until next time, keep learning, keep hoping, keep moving forward.